Good evening. Welcome to the Black Conservative Voice with David Colbert here on the CTM News Network, the voice of truth. Well, it's a wonderful week here. Thank you for joining us here on this Monday evening here at the CTM News Network, the voice of truth. Looking at the news today, of course, we know there's still a lot of things coming up this week with all the different court decisions and things that are going on surrounding the election results. President Trump, I'm sure, in moving forward with different states, looking into possible election irregularities. So we're going to be doing that this week, and we'll be reporting on whatever we see going on this week ahead of us. The housing market grows as people leave the cities for the suburbs. And a lot of people leaving the cities for the suburbs. A lot of it's in New York, some places in California. People are actually leaving California. And we're getting a big influx here into Texas too as well, and especially in the Houston area. A lot more people are coming here from different areas of the country. According to OAN, with working families working from home, it's becoming more of the norm now. The housing market is growing due to low mortgage rates and a surge in the housing demand. The Federal Home Loan Mortgage Corporation, known as Freddie Mac, reported this week that despite recent bumps following the news of a possible vaccine rates, and are still about 1% lower than they were a year ago. And that is good news if you're borrowing money for a mortgage or something to that nature. As for me and myself, I bought me some land and I'm building a house on my land. Anyway, this comes as the Mortgage Bankers Association found mortgage applications to purchase a home up compared to the same time last year, according to the National Association of Realtors. The increase in demand has been reported across the country and is leading to an increase in home prices. So things are going up, and so much for people who think President Trump is not doing a great job, because he is doing a great job, regardless of what the results of the upcoming election is. He has done a wonderful job for the last 3.5 to 4 years in office, coming up in January. But we're in the really early stages, really, of monumental rise in home prices. They say that we think is going to be tremendous for the builders, particularly for their margins, explained Stephen Kim, an analyst for Evercore ISI, and thinking we are actually pretty much at the end of this. Specifically, the biggest jumps in prices were seen in the suburban areas outside of the major cities, like 27.3% jumped in Bridgeport, Connecticut, which is just north of Long Island. A third of the quarter report by gig work site Upwork found that between 14 to 23 million people are considering moving due to working remotely, with 1 in 5 of them moving away from their current homes in major cities. So the people are moving from major cities into the suburbs. So this is really, really getting interesting. And who knows how this is going to turn out. Hopefully it'll be a good thing. But I know as that goes on, there'll be a lot of people that are moving into the cities as well. Those who want to purchase properties and rebuild the cities will be probably moving into the cities. We'll see what happens. As a result, landlords in major cities are desperate to lure back tenants, with New York City real estate appraiser Miller Samuel reporting Friday that the rise in apartment vacancies and 5 boroughs have led to one of the most dramatic drops in rent in recent years. And they definitely need to, their rents are just ridiculous in New York. And I've always thought that they were pretty ridiculous, even back 20-something years ago. I mean, $1,600 a month for a single apartment. Give me a break. They need to lower those rates. I'd be moving out too. You cut people's income and everything else and force them to work from home. Why am I paying all this money to be in a city that doesn't pay? And now New York is no longer the city that never sleeps. New York is sleeping now. I guess everybody's wide awake except for Governor Cuomo. He's asleep and pretty much he needs to stay asleep so we can handle some things that need to be handled there in his state. instead of him trying to run a dictatorship. Because that's pretty much what he's doing, just like Governor Newsom in California. We're going to take a short break right now here on the Black Conservative Voice. I'm David Colbert.
Hello, CTM News viewers. We love you and appreciate you. I'm, of course, Raina Rose, host of Soul Nutrition on CTM News. I'm excited to tell you about my new book, Sin Tastes Good, Nourishing Your Soul in an Empty Calorie World, where we explore connection to God, self, and other people around us. Have you ever wanted to deepen your connection with God, deepen your connection with those around you, and deepen your connection with yourself? Well, this is the book for you. We dig into questions about what we want our lives to look like and answers of how to get there. It comes out Thanksgiving 2020, and I can't wait to have you all read Sin Tastes Good along with me. For special updates, please follow my Instagram, which is The Soul Nutritionist, with little underscores underneath the words. And also, if you would like to email me for some exclusive content from this book, my email is raina@raina-rose.com. Looking forward to hearing from you soon. God bless and keep you, and nourish your soul.
Welcome back. You're watching the Black Conservative Voice with David Colbert here on the CTM News Network, the voice of truth. When I just shut down at the first break there, we were talking about President Trump. Also, but we're also talking about New York Governor Cuomo. President Trump slammed Governor Cuomo for doubting the COVID vaccine. So here we have a Democrat governor doubting the science. I know they keep talking about pay attention to the science, President Trump. Well, President Trump is paying attention to the science. The science is what he surrendered over. And the leaders of Pfizer and other announcement people announced even at the event that he had at the White House revealing these new numbers, also said that there was nobody from the government themselves, this independent people who were reviewing the vaccines and making sure that they were what they say they were. So President Trump recently slammed New York Governor Andrew Cuomo for politicizing the coronavirus vaccine, and the Democrats are constantly doing this. While speaking for the Rose Garden Friday, the president criticized Cuomo's approach. He said the Democrats' policies will prevent New York residents from receiving a COVID vaccine until third-party specialists review its safety and effectiveness. As soon as April, the vaccine will be available to the entire general population, with the exception of places like New York State, stated President Trump. I think it's very bad for a health standpoint, but Cuomo wants to take his time with the vaccine. It's not your time, Mr. Cuomo. It's the people who may be sick and need healing. It's their time. So stop acting like you're in charge. This is what caused you the problem in the nursing homes and stuff, where you had thousands of people dying because you sent the people back to infect the rest of the residents, and then keep trying to avoid it. You already got bad press anyway. I say to the people of New York State, vote that idiot out of office. He is not in control. And also, CNN, MSNBC, I don't know who it is, but his brother Chris, they need to just go somewhere and disappear. Even though Operation Warp Speed is using companies with successful track record and is being vetted by medical experts for science, Governor Cuomo has been slow to trust it. Well, what are we going to trust? Y'all constantly getting on President Trump, talking about pay attention to the science. So he's following and paying attention to the science, and you're still rejecting the results given by the people who are following the science and doing the work. You are full of crap. Politicizing everything, including people's safety and their health. New York, I advise you to start calling to your governor and inundate him with calls, inundate him with mail, so that he could get this vaccine in your state so you can be protected. You won't have to drive all the way down to New Jersey or some other state to get your vaccine if you feel like you need it. And he's preventing everyone, even the elderly. Although Cuomo lacks informal medical knowledge, he believes it is best interest for New Yorkers to stall on receiving the desperately needed vaccine. Give me a break. Then he quote says this. President Trump quote said, but he doesn't trust the fact that it is this White House, this administration, President Trump noted. So we won't be delivering it to New York until we have authorization to do so by their governor. And that pains me to say that. This is President Trump talking, a man of the people. He cares about the people. You could have Joe Biden if you want, all this irregularity in the election results and all this cheating and stuff that they're trying to avoid, saying it's not happening, it is happening. They may have gotten away with it. Who knows? We'll see what happens. It's not just the president who has been critical of Democrat governors' response to the virus. In fact, many bipartisan medical experts have condemned Cuomo's lack of action. It was reported that the Cuomo skipped 17 governor-only meetings regarding the virus, despite governing one of the states most affected by the outbreak. Why are you neglecting the meetings, Governor Cuomo? Why are you neglecting? People in New York, I urge you to get out. I don't know when his term is up. When he gets that term up, vote his behind out. The New York governor insisted he has his state under control. Yeah, give me a break. You killed so many people through your mismanagement of your state health affairs when all this stuff began in your area. And he said he believes President Trump is taking his initiative to get extra vaccine approval out of context. Give me a break. Cuomo believes New York will not lag on a matter, considering they will begin testing the vaccine shortly after FDA begins to test it. I don't know. This guys like Newsom and Cuomo, please vote them out of office. They don't care about you. Matter of fact, you got a guy that might be coming in right now. The presidency don't care about you. But thank God that the Republicans are still in control of the Senate, who passes laws or turn down laws. Governor Cuomo will have to let us know when he's ready, President stated, and otherwise. Otherwise, we can't be delivering to a state that won't be giving it to its people immediately. In other words, he's not going to give the vaccine to anybody that's going to hold it up for the people, because there may be other people in other states that need it. Meanwhile, New York has seen a recent surge in COVID cases and would be one of the states to benefit from the vaccine the most. Governor Cuomo, what are you doing to your people? Stop thinking about yourself. Stop thinking about yourself. Stop refusing to participate in your area's governor's meetings. Get in there, speak your mind. You don't want to hear nothing. That's what the problem is. This is one of the reasons why the people are going to vote you behind out of office when the time comes. I wish there was some kind of way that, I'm not sure, they have a petition to get you thrown out, but they need to enact it if there is so. They're doing it in California with Governor Gavin Newsom and his foolishness. So I hope and pray that they're able to get you out of office, Mr. Cuomo, because you don't belong there. Because if you don't care about the health and safety of your people, you are in the wrong office. You are in the wrong office. And this is why the people are leaving New York City, because you won't even take care of your people and protect them from the violence that was going on in your city. Goodness, people. We got to get these Democrats out of these governorships, because they don't care about you. You can say what you please, but the Republican governors, for the most part, care about their constituents in their cities and in their states. Well, we're going to take a short break, and we'll be back with you in a moment here on the Black Conservative Voice with David Colbert.
Hello, CTM News viewers. We love you and appreciate you. I'm, of course, Raina Rose, host of Soul Nutrition on CTM News. I'm excited to tell you about my new book, Sin Tastes Good, Nourishing Your Soul in an Empty Calorie World, where we explore connection to God, self, and other people around us. Have you ever wanted to deepen your connection with God, deepen your connection with those around you, and deepen your connection with yourself? Well, this is the book for you. We dig into questions about what we want our lives to look like and answers of how to get there. It comes out Thanksgiving 2020, and I can't wait to have you all read Sin Tastes Good along with me. For special updates, please follow my Instagram, which is The Soul Nutritionist, with little underscores underneath the words. And also, if you would like to email me for some exclusive content from this book, my email is raina@raina-rose.com. Looking forward to hearing from you soon. God bless and keep you, and nourish your soul.
Welcome back. This next story is pretty interesting, and this will help you to understand one of the things we see conservatives trying to post things on Facebook, how they're always putting up these fact checks and all this other garbage and trying to become publishers. Facebook doesn't want to become a publisher, neither does Twitter, because then you fall under the rules of publishing. Okay. Speaker Pelosi calls out Facebook for not following the mass or following the masses. House Speaker Nancy Pelosi slammed big tech for having what appears to be a double standard when it comes to political censorship. Why are we even doing anything censorship political things, Ms. Pelosi? These people that are on this Facebook page or whatever are your constituents in your states and cities. Why should they not be allowed to see what they don't censor the Democrat Party, but here we have you trying to get them to censor the conservative message or the conservative portion of the messages put out on Facebook. During a news briefing Friday, Pelosi called out Facebook CEO Mark Zuckerberg for allegedly refusing to censor conservative content. If you don't believe me, this is her. And what she called election misinformation. What do you mean misinformation? The election itself has not even been certified yet. It will not be certified, from what I found out, is even to the 12th of December. So shut up, Nancy Pelosi. Facebook is doing nothing wrong. I'm not a big fan of Facebook, she stated. I don't know what they have been doing, but I know they've been part of the problem all along. Give me a freaking break. Nancy Pelosi, if it wasn't for your fixed political machine and election machines, you would not be in office any longer. Because your people in California are not idiots. They know what's going on, but your power and the things that you wield in California keeps you in office when you should have been defeated years ago. We really needed some people in there to defeat you guys this time. But you have control. You have the election board in your pocket. You got all these other things in your pocket there in California. So you're keeping yourself in office. But I'm going to tell you something, Miss Pelosi. You cannot escape God. He is in control. If he wants to remove you, you will be removed. Facebook has found itself in the crosshairs of political leaders and other tech companies. Beginning in the late spring of 2020, Zuckerberg openly refused to censor information put out by President Trump. Kudos for Mark Zuckerberg. The tech CEO stated that while he disagrees with President's tweets, he refuses to limit his speech. Thank you, Mark Zuckerberg. I hadn't read this before, but I appreciate it. They kept this up, and I had to go to One American News to read this, because they kept it out of the mainstream media. So we didn't know that you were sticking up for conservative issues. So we have the fact check. I guess they made you, force you to put that on there. But this even itself should not be on there unless the people are allowing it on their personal pages. Pelosi argued, however, that media companies have a certain responsibility when it comes to monitoring content on their sites. Oh, so what about the mainstream media? What about the mainstream media denying Hunter Biden's criminal activities or treasonous activity from being reported before the election and or Joe Biden. Why was that put to the side? Was that not incorrect, Nancy Pelosi? Should not they have been reporting the liberal radical view? Didn't the mainstream media have the right to report that? At least Mark Zuckerberg has the guts to report the other side of the story. But this mainstream media sucks, and they're not reporting the truth. I don't care if Biden supposedly got elected, whatever. He got elected. If he got elected, he got elected through false information. If the people had known he was a crook, they would not have put him in office. The technology is a blessing, but it's a double-edged sword in terms of communication, democratizing the spread of information, she asserted. So I would hope that they would have some sense of responsibility. Give me a break. You just said it right there. It's a two-edged sword. If you wanted to cut the conservatives, do you allow them to strike back? If we're fighting with sword, we live by the sword, we die by the sword. So if you want to raise your sword, we're going to raise our swords too. If you want a civil war organization, you Democrats, you keep this mess up. We're going to repeat history again. Because this foolishness needs to stop. I thank God for this, that he allowed the Senate to be back in control of the Republican Party and a larger majority in the Congress. Because if not, I'm sure this country, regardless of who is president, will probably end up in some type of civil war or revolution because of this pure foolishness being pushed at the American people. We're not suckers for you to push around, Ms. Pelosi. And then she goes and says, because they were very much a part of causing the problem to begin with. No, Nancy, they're not the problem. Social media is not the problem. Mainstream media is not the problem. It's you that are the problem. You and those radical Democrats like AOC and all those other ones in there that are trying to push you even further left. You don't want to say nothing about them because you're afraid they'll kick your butt if you're in there with them. Because they're stronger in that party than you are setting forth. You're afraid to say anything about them because you're scared of what they might do to you and on your behalf. You're afraid they'll turn their radical Antifa and BLM out on you in California. Yeah, you're afraid. It's been shown. You, Joe Biden, and all y'all scared. They created a chicken coop in the Democrat Party. People are afraid, fighting amongst each other, and foolishness, fighting amongst each other. Oh, we lost the election because y'all did this, you did that. No, Nancy Pelosi, you are at fault. Nancy Pelosi, you are at fault. You're the one at fault because of your stubbornness and your refusing to bend even on this stimulus package. You realize that the American people may have swayed more toward your Congress people or whatever had you not been so freaking stubborn and refusing to budge. You, Nancy Pelosi, should no longer be the Speaker of the House come January. And Democrat Party, Democrat leaders, get her out of there or she will continue to cause this partisan divide and we will accomplish nothing in this nation till you remove her from the Speaker's seat. This is a mandate that I'm setting forth that needs to be followed. Please do it because she is destroying this country through her stubbornness and through her out-of-date ideas and beliefs. Okay, moving on. Pelosi said she would like to see Facebook join the ranks of other tech companies, crooked ranks, who have made an effort to censor the posts and accounts of conservative personalities. Why are we censoring the posts of conservative personalities? We're op-ed people. When we say what we say, we're saying what we believe, our viewpoint, the conservative viewpoint. Why are we only presenting one viewpoint? Isn't this America? Isn't this a country with a First Amendment rights? See, well, this is what I'm telling you, people. If you voted Biden in, which I don't believe a lot of you did, I believe it was an underhanded election. But I'm telling you, what they want in the Democrat Party is to silence everybody else's voice except the liberal voice or the Democrat voice. They want to silence the conservatives. They want to silence us who will challenge their corrupt policies, their policies on killing babies, on manipulating our health care, and all these different things. They want to silence it. But we cannot allow them to do that. We're going to take a short break, and we'll be right back with you here in a moment on a Black Conservative Voice with David Colbert.
Hello, CTM News viewers. We love you and appreciate you. I'm, of course, Raina Rose, host of Soul Nutrition on CTM News. I'm excited to tell you about my new book, Sin Tastes Good, Nourishing Your Soul in an Empty Calorie World, where we explore connection to God, self, and other people around us. Have you ever wanted to deepen your connection with God, deepen your connection with those around you, and deepen your connection with yourself? Well, this is the book for Raina-Rose.com. Looking forward to hearing from you soon. God bless and keep you, and nourish your soul.
Welcome back. You're watching the Black Conservative Voice with David Colbert here on the CTM News Network. Shame on you, Nancy Pelosi, for calling social media the ones who started this, who keeps us going. You, Nancy Pelosi, alone by yourself has ignored your own party, ignored the Republican Party. Their desire to come across the table went far radical, and you have caused a lot of these problems in this country for the last year or so, or several years. Democrat Party, please remove her from the speaker seat. Please remove her. Don't vote her back in as a speaker. You may have a majority, but if you do this mess, you won't be able to accomplish your policies or anybody else's. You won't be able to do nothing bipartisanly. She'll continue to try to rule through, what do you call it, dictatorship rules, through dictatorship control. She wants total power. She don't want to bend anywhere. This woman's insane. President Trump called her right. She's crazy. Here we are right again, coming back to November, December again, and here's Nancy Pelosi again, threatening to hold up this country again. Get her out of there by any means possible. Okay, impeach her if you can or whatever, but get her out of there. She's disrupting this country, and she's one voice destroying this country with her big mouth from Capitol Hill. Let's move on. President Trump coronavirus vaccine should be approved in the coming weeks. The Trump administration is looking to push Pfizer's vaccine through the regulatory red tape and out to the American people. As I said, President Trump cares about the people. They lie to you all this time, telling you don't care. If you listen to false news media, please stop doing it. Come to the conservative media, because we're telling you the truth. They want you to believe a lie. It's an old saying that says, if you don't want to believe the truth, the only thing left is a lie. And in this country, in this world, the truth is always the narrow way. What did the Word of God say? Narrow is the way that leads to life, broad is the path that leads to destruction. On Friday, President Trump updated the public on the fight against the coronavirus pandemic while the touting of the success of Operation Warp Speed. The average development timeline of vaccines, including clinical tests and manufacturing, came to 8 to 12 years, he explained through Operation Warp Speed. We're doing it in less than a year. The president said administration invested nearly $2 billion into Pfizer so they could manufacture and distribute 100 million doses of their vaccine. He noted their deal and biotech company includes an additional $600 million million doses after their initial batch gets out to the American people. If you have a different administration with different people, what we've done would have taken, my opinion, 3 to 4 years, 5 years. It would have been in the FDA forever. And he's correct. It would be. Oh, Lord, help us. Because if we get anybody else in there, they will drag their butts, and we will have a problem in the coming years. He goes on to say, we will work to secure an emergency use authorization, which should be coming down extremely soon, and my administration will then coordinate the distribution of vaccine, and it will be approved, stated the president. I think again, it will be approved very quickly, we hope. And meanwhile, President Trump has predicted the vaccine will be approved by the FDA in the coming weeks. He said that soon as the agency gives him the green light to distribute the vaccine, he will immediately dish it out to frontline workers and vulnerable Americans. Additionally, the administration will expand production to reach out to the greater public by April. Let me tell you something, Democrat Party. President Trump, if they find the courts that he can't get the election and get the winning, whatever, look out. He's going to be working hard. He is a hard worker. And he's going to accomplish a lot in the time allotted him to the coming to the end of his term, if necessary, through the power of executive order. Well, once again, we want to thank you for joining us here on the Black Conservative Voice on the CTM News Network, the voice of truth. My name is David Colbert, and I want to say, like I always like to say, God bless you, God bless America, and God bless the world. Until next time, this is David Colbert saying good night and God bless.